Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions for the Tuesday Q&A. Remember to send in questions for the Thursday Q&A. And if you're new to my channel, this is your first time checking me out, description box down below with all the details on how you can send in questions. All right, let's get started with this one. At John Cena is a Tool asks, did you know Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt were brothers? And will we ever get a brother versus brother feud between them? Yes, I did know that they're brothers. For anyone who doesn't know, they are son of Mike Rotunda, aka IRS. You may know him from the WrestleMania 9 match where he teamed up with Ted DiBiase, and you know they faced off against Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake brother. So there we go. For anyone who did not know who Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt's dad was, there you go. As for a brother versus brother feud, all depends on the interest, really. I mean, it depends on how long Bo Dallas lasts in the WWE. Don't get me wrong, I love Bo and all, but I don't know where he's going to go after this undefeated streak gimmick. I really don't know what they're going to do with him at the end of the day. And it all depends if the fans are going to be interested in it. I mean, if they ever had a stare down one moment and the fans pop for it, there you go. Down the line, we could possibly see it. But it all depends if Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are at the same level to the point where, you know, people will actually care for it. And eventually people would fork over their money to see it. So all depends on those factors right there. If you really want to see a little taste of what they can do with each other, FCW, I know, has a couple matches between the two, so go check that out. Bud Lightyear 7 asks, Q&A question, is WrestleMania 30 the last time you want to see Taker? If not, how would you like to see him? Yes, I want WrestleMania 30 the last time to see The Undertaker, and the reason being is, when I was watching that match with Brock Lesnar, it was just so sad seeing how Taker worked that match, man. He looked slow, he looked sluggish, he did not look like The Undertaker whatsoever. He just looked out of it, and yes, I know he had a concussion during the match, but I care about The Undertaker's health. I love and respect The Undertaker for all the years he's been able to, you know, stay healthy and be able to entertain us as the dead man character. But in all honesty, I just feel enough is enough for him. I don't feel like he needs to prove anything else in the ring. He should just go make babies with Michelle McCool. That's just the bottom line. That's how I see it. You know, I also think it adds more to Brock Lesnar that he ultimately got rid of The Undertaker into the WWE. It makes Brock Lesnar look more like a badass heel and all that other stuff. So, personally for me, I would like to see Undertaker not return to the WWE until he's put into the Hall of Fame. That's just me personally. I just don't want to see him in another match, especially if it could affect his health down the line. Scott Casey Gale asks, do you agree with Vince Russo when he says too many commercials during a match on Raw kills the momentum? Yes, I do agree with Vince Russo on that point, because, you know, it also adds to the boring predictability of the WWE, because we all know when the Usos do a high-flying move, Michael Cole's on commentary be like, oh my god, the Usos just hit the flying Uso. The Usos have the momentum. We'll be back on Monday Night Raw after this commercial break. And then we come back to Raw, and like Eric Rowan's beating up Jey Uso, and it's like, the Wyatt family have taken control. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw. It's like, we know that what's going to happen. And not only that, for a match like that, you know, Wyatt versus Usos that we have seen so many times, it's like, we know the story of the match. We know how the match is going to go. We know the spots that are going to happen. It's just like, whatever. It's just like, you know, who really cares? And, you know, it works for some matches where, you know, maybe the match starts off very, very slow, and then they take that commercial break, and then they come back and it breathes some new life into a match. But in all honesty, at the end of the day, I don't think commercials really, really help, you know, WWE Raw whatsoever. That's just me personally, because you could get into a match and, you know, there could be some really good stuff going on, and then all of a sudden a commercial happens. It's just like, what the hell happened? I was just getting into it. It's like watching a football game. Say, for example, it's like Patriots versus Broncos. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots are driving. It's the third quarter. It's actually a crucial drive for them. They're down by 14, and then all of a sudden they're at the goal line, and then later on you hear the announcer say, okay, we got to take a commercial break right now. You take a commercial break when the Patriots are on the goal line at 3rd and 2, and then all of a sudden we find out the Patriots scored, and we didn't get to see that happen live. It ruins, you know, the aspect and entertainment of sports. I mean, football doesn't take break during commercials, neither does basketball. Only during timeouts is when they take their commercial breaks. But during live action, we don't see them take commercial breaks. So it definitely would help the WWE product overall if they didn't take a lot of commercials during their matches. Johnny Russo asked, I like that username, Q&A question, how awesome is The Miz? Miz is awesome when the WWE books him to be awesome. That's just the bottom line. I don't know how much I can say it, but it's true. Stephen Bradley asked, what if Bo Dallas ended the streak with his current gimmick? That's a good question. I don't think a lot of people would actually like Bo Dallas that much. The thing about Bo Dallas that makes people like him is that he is goopy and that he's really beating guys that really are not relevant in the WWE, and we make it like a big deal when he beats them. He's like, Bo, baby! Like, you know, he's all freaking out about that stuff, doing the victory lap and shit like that. So, you know, if he beat The Undertaker, I think it would just be like a mixed reaction. Some fans that don't take wrestling overly too seriously would laugh at it and just think this is the most hilarious thing they've ever seen. And some fans will just want to commit wrestling suicide and never want to watch the product again. And your second question is, you, me, one-on-one SummerSlam. If you want a match at SummerSlam, Stephen Bradley, get me some tickets, get an airplane flight over here, and get me a car right there, and we'll talk business. Yes, I am a very hard negotiator. I have to have my demands. I'm like Triple H, man. I have a huge ego. Jake Loomis asks, do you think TNA would be dumb enough one day to give the belt to an MMA fighter? Oh, hell yeah, TNA would be dumb enough to do that. I could totally see that. Like, I could see Bound for Glory being such a great show. Everyone praising Bound for Glory, saying like, oh, TNA's in the step foot in the right direction. Then 2 weeks later, King Mo wins like the freaking TNA title. Yeah, I can see TNA doing something really dumb like that. And the thing is like, let's say, for example, it was a Ronda Rousey. I don't think any fans would be mad, you know, if they gave, like, the women's title to Ronda Rousey. I think a lot of people are more interested to see what Ronda Rousey could do in the WWE or TNA or professional wrestling in general, because we know she's a huge professional wrestling fan. She loves the sport of professional wrestling. She has expressed interest, you know, and she's actually a huge name in MMA right now. Hell, most of you guys probably don't even know she fights for the UFC, and you know the name Ronda Rousey. That's how big her star power is. You know, you don't even need to know that she fights. You know, you just know that this chick is hot and a badass, and so that would be awesome. But guys like King Mo and Rampage and Tito Ortiz, it just feels like a cheap publicity stunt, and especially because these guys are irrelevant. Maybe if this was 5 years ago, I would excuse a Rampage Jackson maybe winning the TNA title for a week, but now in 2014, I'm sorry. Seeing Rampage Jackson as TNA champion would be stupid. Seeing King Mo as TNA champion would be stupid. And seeing Tito Ortiz as TNA champion would be stupid. So yes, I can see TNA being stupid enough to put a title on a King Mo, Rampage, or Tito Ortiz. Final Limits asks the question, Q&A, who is your top 5 referees? My top 5 favorite referees, Earl Hebner, Slick Johnson from TNA, Charles Robinson, Brian Hebner, and Justin King. And I also have one more referee. I actually like 6 referees. I like the referee that refs all the John Cena matches. I believe his name is John, too. I can't remember his last name. But I like that referee because I thought it was hilarious at WrestleMania 30 when John Cena was about to hit Bray Wyatt with that steel chair. He was like, John, stop! This is not you, man! I was like, why is the referee telling that to John Cena? Oh god, that guy was hilarious. But yes, I do like referees in wrestling. They add some entertainment. Do you think WWE should induct referees into the Hall of Fame, mainly Earl Hebner? It would be a nice tip to the hat to the referees and show that, you know, their hard work is not forgotten and that they are truly a part of the WWE family. Absolutely. Earl Hebner, depends on how his relationship is with the WWE. But yes, I wouldn't mind a referee being inducted to the Hall of Fame, just to give a tip to the hat to them. RedWolf316 asks, were you always a Randy Orton fan? And how did you become a Randy Orton fan? What do you think of Randy Orton, the Legend Killer? And what was your favorite Randy Orton moment? Yes, I've always been an Orton fan. I became a Randy Orton fan back in like 2003 when he was first starting out with Evolution. I love the Legend Killer gimmick. It helped Randy Orton very much in his career. It made him stand out from the rest of the roster, you know, because at the time, you know, most of the guys that were young and stuff like that, they were just kind of like legit badasses that just kicked the ass out of the heels. But with Randy Orton, it was like he was doing something different, something unique. So I really did like the Legend Killer gimmick. And what are some of my favorite Randy Orton moments? One of my favorites is when he punched, you know, Stephanie McMahon in the head and then kisses her. You know, that was like one of the best heel moments for Randy Orton in his career, in my personal opinion, just because it made me really want to see that Randy Orton and Triple H match at WrestleMania 25, because I just didn't really care for Randy Orton and Triple H that much because I've seen that match so many fucking times in my career. So I was just like, no, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm sorry. But when he did that to Stephanie McMahon, I was like, ooh, now I'm interested in this WrestleMania 25 match. Too bad Triple H didn't fucking put him over. RedWolf316 also asked, have you ever watched Batman Beyond? If yes, what did you think of it? Yes, I like Batman Beyond. I liked how they were always in a club every once in a while during the episode. It was a good TV show. I didn't think it really got the run that it should have, but it was definitely a fun TV show. Not the best Batman animated series. Mark Gochi asks, how do you think fans will remember John Cena once he retires, especially internet fans like myself who hate John Cena? Once he retires, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of relief and joy by a lot of internet fans. I think a lot of internet fans will be like, finally, this guy is gone from the WWE. I don't think a lot of fans will really miss him because I can totally see him making a lot of appearances, and a lot of fans are like, oh, come on, Cena, just stay retired. You know, I can see him having a lot of one-off matches against younger stars and stuff like that and still not putting them over. So I think like after like 15 years when he retires, fans will start to say, you know what? Even though I hated that John Cena, he really did a good job as a main face of the WWE. Not the best face of the WWE of all time, but he did his role perfectly and he did all right. So it would take a long ass time before wrestling fans really respect John Cena. Mark Gochi asks, in your opinion, what are some of your favorite wrestling theme songs and your least favorite wrestling theme songs? Triple H, The Game, any Triple H song really. My Time, The Game by Drowning Pool, any Jericho theme of Break the Walls Down. You know, even though I'm not really the hugest Edge fan, I really like that Rob Zombie theme song. So, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes down to favorite theme songs. When it comes down to least favorite, Heidenreich's theme song was garbage. That's just my personal opinion. So those are some of my least favorite theme songs. Bubblegum Flavored Steroids asks, what do you think was the cause for Jeff Hardy's house to be set on fire and kill his poor dog? I've heard Jeff Hardy used to do meth. I'm not sure if he was cooking meth. Maybe something happened in the workshop. I'm not speculating that Jeff Hardy did meth, but you never knew. You never know. Who knows? Maybe a freak forest fire. I don't really know. I don't live in that Carolina area. I don't know what could have happened. Apparently WWE put that into the storyline. Apparently Matt Hardy started the fire, but in all honesty, I couldn't tell you what started the fire. And which Raw theme did you like the most, and which SmackDown theme did you like the most? The Raw theme that I liked the most, it's kind of mixed. I liked Across the Nations. I really did like Across the Nations. That was my favorite. And for SmackDown, the Drowning Pool song, Rise Up, man. Dude, that shit was awesome. Especially when you got to see The Undertaker. You know, like, and it just showed The Undertaker. And then, I loved Rise Up. That was one of my favorites wrestling SmackDown theme songs. Joe Juicy asks, do you think TNA should bring back Awesome Kong? If Awesome Kong wants to come back, she would definitely help her Knockouts division. The Knockouts division needs as much help as possible, so yes, TNA should bring her back. I don't care if she's no longer the big brute that she used to be. Bring her back if she can still wrestle. Little Fish asks, what was your favorite top 5 cartoons of the 90s? I believe I've answered this question already, but just for you, Little Fish. Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Dragon Ball Z, does that count as a 90s cartoon? Sure, why not? It's Real Monsters. I forgot the name of some cartoons. It's been such a long time. 90s are so old, man. I feel so old when people ask me about 90s cartoons. And Rocket Power, let's just go with that one. I don't know if that's a 90s cartoon, but let's go with that. And what were your least favorite cartoons of the 90s? Least favorites. I never really hated cartoons. I guess Wild Thornberrys. I know I might get shit for that one because a lot of people apparently love Wild Thornberrys, but I never really liked it. That's just me, so yeah. Brony Loney asks, what did you think of Britney's heel turn on Massive Ray on Impact last Thursday? Why? Why turn Britney heel, TNA? Why? She's a fresh face on your roster. Why make Madison Rayne the face when you know she sucks as a face? Oh my god. This is why sometimes I don't talk about TNA on my channel. I might bring back Impact Wrestling reviews. I haven't decided yet, but it just pisses me off. And where do you see this storyline with Samuel Shaw going? No spoilers if you read. I don't know. Samuel Shaw is definitely an interesting character. I like him. He's funny and weird. Samuel Shaw's room. Eventually, a feud with Gunner, I'm guessing. I think that's what they should do. It seems like a natural progression. You know, him and Gunner, you know, having a match down the line at their next big event. So that's where I see this feud going. I think that this feud might also get put onto the back burner because with Destination X and a lot of X Division guys coming back, you know, maybe Samuel Shaw is not really a big guy that they want to push in the roster. Dave Lester asked the questions, Q&A, what are your thoughts on DJ Zemo Ion from TNA? I like Zemo Ion. He's one of those guys that, get really shit gimmicks, shit characters, but he makes them work. So I like his work ethic. He's not really my favorite X Division star or favorite TNA wrestler, but I do appreciate his work. What are your thoughts on Santino announcing his retirement? Are you happy that he's gone or sad? I made a video today, actually, talking about Santino, so go check that out, Dave Lester. Dave Lester, I don't know if he sent these questions in a bunch, but he asked a bunch of Cena questions, and Q&A number 33, how big is John Cena's dick? That's the title of that video. Those will answer the questions that you had about John Cena, Dave Lester. Jack Trice asked a question, do you ever see Mitch making it big to TNA, WWE, or ROH? Depends on Mitch's work ethic. If Mitch works as hard as he does, yes, I can see Mitch making it to the big time. I don't know WWE, but maybe a ROH. I can see Mitch working well in the ROH and that ROH environment, especially with the Mitch Lightning gimmick that he has going. So yes, I can see Mitch making it big in the professional wrestling world. It's all up to Mitch's work ethic, like I said at the end of the day, and Mitch from the Wrestling Gurus for anyone who doesn't know. And do you think Jasmine Aribi, Chick Kick 21, could ever make it to WWE? Did you hear she had a tryout? Yeah, I heard about it. If she will make it, like I said, it's the same with Mitch. It depends on the work ethic. When it comes down to professional wrestling, people understand this. You have to put into the work ethic to make it big in this business. If you don't work hard, you ain't going to make it. That's just the bottom line. Do I think she's going to make it? I haven't seen much of Jasmine's matches. I haven't seen much of her work to really give my thoughts on saying if she can make it or not. She is a young person. She's the same age as me, I believe. Not everyone can be like Paige and, all of a sudden, wrestle at the age of 21 and win the Divas title. I mean, don't forget, Paige has been wrestling since she was 13. Same goes for Drew McIntyre. He started wrestling when he was 16. Some people start early and, they get the competitive advantage. And that's just the bottom line. All depends on work ethic. Both of those people that you asked the question about are young people, so, they're still evolving in their careers. Reginald D. Help asks, what would you do if you saw your dog get attacked by another vicious dog more than your two and one got attacked? Would you A, watch your dogs get attacked and not do nothing? B, beat the shit out of the attacked dog and scare it away? C, get out a gun and blow the attacked dog's head off? I would have to go with D on that one. And if cat dog existed in real life, just like the cartoon, would you own one? And which of the two conjured animals would you give more attention to, the dog or the cat? I probably wouldn't own one just because it would freak me out, and also I'm allergic to cats, sir. That's why I have dogs. I wish I wasn't allergic to cats. I do like cats. They're very, very, very cute, but I'd be very allergic, and it wouldn't be fun. I would have red eyes. I'd be sneezing a lot. It'd be terrible. Nintendo Fanboy asked the question, what are you enjoying about TNA right now at the moment? That they actually have a heel champion, and that Bobby Lashley can actually kick ass and doesn't need help from fucking everyone in the world like Randy Orton. That's what I'm enjoying at TNA at the moment. I don't like that Bobby Roode's a face, because I always like Bobby Roode as a heel. But hey, at least TNA has a heel champion that's a legit badass and doesn't need to hide behind everyone. So that's what I'm enjoying with TNA at the moment. What did you think of La Resistance? They were an entertaining tag team. Not really my favorite. Two young guys. I like Silvano Granero and Rob Conway. Glad to see Rob Conway is doing good stuff in the NWA territories. So, not really my favorite tag team, though. Q&A, what did you think of Matt Morgan's stuttering gimmick in 2005? Matt Morgan. Terrible. I don't know what the WWE was thinking. Like, oh, let's give this big, imposing, freakish monster a stuttering gimmick. That's stupid. You just made him look dumb. I'm sorry. I just hated that so much because I'm a Matt Morgan fan. So it pisses me off just knowing that how much the WWE ruined them. And then your second question even ties in. Do you think TNA dropped the ball with Matt Morgan? Absolutely. I just don't understand. I always get pissed off when I remember 2000, I think it was 11, the Bound for Glory series. That was his to win, man. And he got injured and it was just like, never recovered after that. You know, it's such a shame that WWE has not given him a look. It's such a shame that, you know, TNA hasn't brought him back. I loved Matt Morgan. I felt they should have done more with Matt Morgan. Great, talented big man. I mean, I'm such a Matt Morgan mark. When I see Paige do the backwards elbows during her matches, I'm like, Matt Morgan elbows, Matt Morgan elbows. I love me some Matt Morgan. One of my favorite big man wrestlers. Definitely one of the most underrated big man wrestlers in wrestling, in my personal opinion. Shoro Horror asks, would you ever date a tomboy who wears the same type of clothes as you all the time, wearing man's clothes and cologne and deodorant? I would not be against it. if she was a cool person. You know, it's more about personality with me than your looks. So yeah, I would date a tomboy. Not a big deal. Have you heard Shia LaBeouf's arrest, and what are your thoughts on it? If not, then look it up. Fuck up, so I don't look stupid for asking. I do these Q&As live, so I don't really have the time to look it up. I remember that there was one arrest where he was like screaming at his neighbors. It's just a shame because Shia LaBeouf, I think he has somewhat talent in his acting body, and I really think that he can do some good stuff if, you know, he just matured a little bit. That's just my personal opinion on it. Lorna Lowell asked a question: what do you do when you get when you're bored? What do I do when I get bored? Rock, run, call people up and see if they want to kick it. If they don't, play video games. That's pretty much what I do when I get bored. Thoughts on Rated RKO Afghan? Oops, I mean Rated RKO Timran. He's a pretty solid shooter back in his day. He does more basketball and NFL related videos now. Doesn't really talk that much about, you know, the professional wrestling world. I don't mind him. He's a cool guy. I've done some NBA videos with him. I did the NBA playoffs with him, so go check those out if you haven't already. Lino Gino asked, Q&A, are you watching the World Cups? Yes, I am watching the World Cups. Someone asked who was my favorite team in the World Cup, in Netherlands, because I am Dutch Indonesian, so I am rooting for the Netherlands. We have the semifinal game tomorrow against Argentina, so hopefully we can freaking win and face Germany and not get killed by Germany in the finals. And thoughts on Steven Regal? It was an okay gimmick for William Regal back in WCW. I didn't really feel like it helped him whatsoever. I always liked William Regal, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of Q&A questions in the future asking if he should be WWE champion and all that. I do believe that there was, at one point in time, you could have given him the main belt. I don't think he was ever going to be a long-term world champion for WWE. But Steven Regal in WCW, it got the job done. It helped out, you know, younger guys to show that they were tough in the ring. So, yeah, it helped out at the end of the day. Reed19 asks, why do so many wrestling fans hate on Triple H more than the Golden Boy Superman for burying people, not putting people over, and hogging the spotlight? When it comes down to it, with John Cena, you know, he's just forced down our throats that we kind of, like most wrestling fans, just kind of eat the shit and like the taste of it half the time. With Triple H, it was more or less like, I believe if we had a YouTube and the webcams back in the Attitude Era and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure Triple H would kind of be like in the same spotlight as John Cena. Like, we would just eat the shit and like the taste of it. We wouldn't really, like, we're gonna bitch about him winning all these world titles and get annoyed with him and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we just wouldn't really care. But at the time, really the only way you could talk about wrestling was during the forum days and really no YouTube videos, and I feel like your voice projects more than words that you type. So in all honesty, I feel like, you know, a lot of people didn't understand, you know, what Triple H was doing, you know, at the time. So it's just how Triple H works, you know. And also, he did have a reign of terror where there were so many guys like RVD, Kane, Booker T, and all these other people that he could have put over. And John Cena, you know, say what you will, yes, he has buried a lot of young talent that should have been put over, but at least, you know, he does drop the belt most of the time to the right guy, where Triple H, on the other hand, until the later part of his career, would just drop the belt to his friends and people that he liked. So that's just the bottom line why I think both people talk about Triple H burying people. And also, I think it's just a fun joke to make in the YWC. Number 2 is Bobby Lashley's wrestling ability underrated by the IWC. Somewhat. I think a lot of people just don't give him credit. They just look at him as a black Brock Lesnar. That's just it. But yeah, I think it is very underrated in the YWC. And Cavillo85 will wrap up this long Q&A. Which teams in the NFL do you see going to the playoffs? Their usual. Maybe add the Falcons in there. So look at the playoffs this year. Take out the Eagles. Put in the Giants. Take out the... who was the wild card team this year? I can't remember the NFC. Add the Falcons. Maybe the Chargers this year. You know, I will make NFL videos in the future talking about the playoffs, but when it comes down to naming 12 teams right now, right off the bat, I can't really say because, you know, so many teams are changing every day. Injuries could happen during the preseason. And who do you think will win in a leg-off contest, Lana or Stacy Keibler? I would have to say Stacy, man. Stacy just used to abuse those legs. I mean, Lana, she has beautiful legs. Don't get me wrong. I would love Lana to wrap those legs around me. But when it comes down to it, Stacy would abuse those legs, show them off to make those people realize, look at her legs. I mean, they had the theme song. She got legs, and she knows how to use them. So, you know, really, to be honest, they used to abuse the fact that Stacy Keibler had beautiful, long legs, man. So, in all honesty here, when it comes down to it, Stacy Killer would win in a leg off. I mean, Lana has beautiful legs and all, but I feel Stacy overall, when it comes down to it, she's just more attractive than Lana to me. Thank you guys so much for sending in the questions. Sorry if the video was a little bit long. You know, sometimes I just really get deep into thought about these questions. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. Check out my website, Chilling with Chase, and send in those questions for the Thursday Q&A. Check out the Santino video if you haven't already. I'll see you all next time. Peace!